Gondo, a village of several small hamlets situated 200 kilometers east of the country's capital. One of the world's poorest countries and extremely limited in natural resources, Burkina Faso has an 80% adult illiteracy rate and only 50% of its children have access to education. Francis Kere was raised here in Gondo. The oldest son of the village chief, he was sent away to school at age 7, becoming the first in his family to learn to read and write. "30 years later, after studying architecture in Germany and acquiring a teaching position in Berlin, Francis Kere made it his mission to come back and build a much-needed school for his village."
That was my duty. A duty to contribute to the development of my hometown. And that's why when my family asked me to do everything that I possibly could to build a school here, it was a definite call for help. A call that I urgently needed to respond to. And since I'd learned in Germany that education is the basis of all economic development, this call corresponded perfectly to my personal views. My desire to do everything possible for the members of my family, for my brother's children, so that each and every child in our village could access schooling while remaining at home in Gondo.
The village's school is situated within walking distance of each family's hamlet. Built with compressed earth bricks, it was completed in 2001 and financed by an NGO that the architect created while studying in Germany.
When I came here with some friends to announce that we were building a school, everyone said, "Yes, we're finally going to have a school." And when I said it would be built with earth blocks, they said, "Oh, but Francis has no idea that a school made of earth will never last more than a few years, especially after the rain seasons."
Convincing the villagers to build with earth brick was a major challenge, and teaching them new building systems was not simple. But the architect succeeded in training 15 locals to adopt his techniques. A climatic concept with an emphasis on ventilation, the architect's main priority here was to conceive a building in which air flows freely.
You can see how the rooftop is raised well above the walls. Well, this prevents air from stagnating between the ceilings of the classrooms and the roof. So in this way, there's a constant airflow between this opening, the corrugated iron top, and the bricks inside the classroom.
Inside the classrooms, the number of windows is set to a strict minimum. The main idea here is to help the building to breathe.
Inside the classrooms, we have a suspended ceiling built with compressed earth bricks that are supported by steel reinforcement bars and exposed in their natural color. So the corrugated metal roof, supported by steel trusses, together with this earth brick ceiling, function almost like lungs. The air that's between these two elements is able to flow. And with these slits that you see here, we have an automatic ventilation allowing the hot air to exhaust through the roof.
Initially built for 100 students, within just a few years, the school's population was multiplied by 5. And in 2008, the architect completed the Gondo Primary School's first edition. Today, within just a few meters of the latest building, Francis Kere has yet another project in its final phase. To celebrate completion of 6 teacher housing units, the women of Gondo have come to beat the clay floors. Here, for the first time, homes will be built to recycle rainwater that will in turn provide for the school's well and surrounding gardens.
Voilà. D'accord? Oui. Voilà, comme ça, l'eau ne s'arrête pas. Ok? Voilà. L'eau coule de la toiture, l'eau vient par la
The rainwater flows from the roof down this way.
Voilà. Et puis, continue.
And it continues down over here in the gutter.
L'eau vient partout, partout.
And so over here it comes from all the directions, then flows all the way over here to be collected at the end. You see that? All the gutters lead into this canal. And you can easily walk across this surface without stumbling or falling in. If we cover the drainage system, leaves from the trees or animals will clog the system. And so we leave it completely open.
Just under 5,000 kilometers from Gondo, Berlin, Francis Kere's home away from home. This is where the architect develops his projects, searches for funding, and teaches at Berlin's Technical University.
Das war die Hauptstraße.
The university is where my intellectual environment is based. It's where I get my ideas, where I have exchanges with my colleagues, and develop my ideas. The projects in Africa are a finished product. They're the result. I believe that Africa is the future. A future of exchanges between Africa and the West. As soon as I arrive in Africa, I feel the need to be useful, and I see what needs to be done. The population wants new projects, and the people admire what I do. I think that my future is not only with my students in Germany, but ideally I'd like them to spend time in Africa, working on techniques and solutions for projects here. Solutions that we could spread across the continent once they prove useful. In Burkina, Mali, the Congo, or Ghana. Why not go back to Europe with these ideas? That's the future. That's my dream.